Hello Missouri Wing, and welcome to this edition of MOCAPTV. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Brad Sanker. In this edition we'll look at the disaster recovery in the Northeast and how CAP is participating in the recovery efforts. We'll also talk about disaster preparedness and what you can do to prepare yourself and your family. As we speak, members of Middle East region are participating in the recovery efforts from Hurricane Sandy. And they're providing aerial photography, radio communications, among other things. Delaware Wing has provided 24-hour communications as soon as the storm first bore down on the coast. This support included high-frequency communication when normal communication infrastructure was not available. Members from Maryland and Delaware have continued to provide aerial photo flights and are expected to be flying through at least Friday. Their flights have included shorelines of the Chesapeake Bay and several islands along the coast. In addition to the two wings from the Middle East region, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island have also participated in providing imagery for their state's recovery effort. For more information on that, you can check it out on the Missouri Wing members website. Go to capvolunteersnow.com. Sometimes it takes a disaster to know if you're prepared. The recent events of the hurricane have had many people wondering if they're ready for a natural disaster or any other event that might test their readiness. Everyone should have a plan, and everyone should be prepared to have an emergency kit or ready to go at any time. Some of these kits should be set up for individuals and families. So, something to think about in your family. Have you prepared for an emergency in this type of disaster? An individual kit basically contains items for you. You don't need to spend a lot of money on the individual kit. In fact, you should be able to find it for most things around the house. The kit should be located in a central location. So, for example, family members can hang it on the doors of their bedrooms and such, or hang it in a laundry room or a mud room, whichever is basically closest to an exit to get out of the area that you're in. So let's take a look at an example of an individual kit. So when you're building an individual kit, like I said, just basically a quick escape. Say for example your house catches on fire or earthquake, whatever it is, you have to get out of the house. It can be basically built with simple items from around your house. Basically start with a bag. Anything will do. Usually like a flight bag like what I have here, or a backpack, maybe last year's backpack from school. And then you're going to add into that 2 sets of clothing. These don't have to be your Sunday best. They could be sweats, a t-shirt, but remember to pack appropriately for the weather. So when you're putting this kit together, you might add some long sleeve shirts for the winter time and change them out in the summertime. You know, this is also a good way to recycle some of those clothes that you're not wearing anymore, but still fit, and you just don't know what to do with them. You also want to add in a pair of shoes. One of the most common problems when you have a fire or a disaster in your house is you're going to escape from that location, and oftentimes you're barefoot. But if you grab this bag on the way out, maybe you'll at least have the opportunity to put something on your feet. So you want to make sure you add in something easy, some slip-on shoes or some old sneakers that you're just not wearing anymore. Also, you want to make sure you include a flashlight, maybe a first aid kit. You can either have a purchased one or build one yourself. And then also add some other additional items like personal items like medication, bathroom supplies, deodorant, those kinds of things, because you never know when you're going to be back out in the able to get back into your home. In addition to that, especially for the children, you want to add comforts from home. So maybe add some books or magazines, crayons for the kids, maybe a teddy bear. Obviously not, you don't want to put your favorite one in there because then you're not going to have it. But just some things to keep it comfortable and help calm people down during the emergency. In addition, you want to add some gloves, a dust mask, space blanket, trash bags. For good measure, what I like to do when I'm packing is, even when I travel, I usually pack everything up in Ziploc bags and basically this helps keep the moisture off the items and get things ready. Parents, you should help pack your kids' bags. The kids, help them understand why they're doing it. Kids need to understand what the purpose of the bag is and why they're keeping this kit prepared and hanging on their door or wherever it is. And help them to understand, basically that they need to be ready for an emergency. It helps to not only keep them involved, but it also eases the panic in case of an emergency. As we move on, something that I'd like to talk about, basically each episode with MOCAPTV, we're going to present a new app or new technology that's available. Sometimes it's going to be computer based, sometimes it will be telephone based, it might even just be a piece of hardware that you might use. In this particular episode, we're going to review a iPhone app that we found has been very useful for Missouri Wing. Let me bring it up here. Basically, it can help anybody in CAP, and it's actually called CAP app, and you can see here on the phone. We'll zoom in on the camera here in just a second. So basically, as you can see here with this app, it's got some unique features on it. So looking at it, we're going to go. It's got different regulations that are listed, so you can pull up actually individual regulations, uniform regulation. Let's say we want to see chapter 2, how they wear the uniforms. It's actually broken down into the different chapters, so you can see the actual. It's actually pulling up the app directly from the national website. Other things that it has is videos that are playing from the national YouTube page, and it also pulls in other videos from around the nation. Basically, it's looking for a keyword for Civil Air Patrol. Some other options that it brings in is Facebook, by bringing in the Facebook page for cadet programs, the national Facebook page, Twitter accounts, and you can actually add your own items to this as well. Plus, at the bottom, it's got a really neat thing. It's you can add puzzles. And basically, you can take an image that's here, just something to play with, and you can see it just randomize the puzzle. Once again, it's called CAP app. This is not an official app, or not necessarily endorsed by CAP, but it's just something that's useful and to help help your members, maybe especially at a meeting, pass the time if they're waiting for drill or whatever they might be participating in. Once again, when we talk about these apps, it's not an endorsement of these technologies or an advertisement. We're just going to simply show them and make them available so that you have a general idea of things that you can use to help improve around your unit. In the future, we'll also identify some other apps. For example, some of the items that were used for flying with the iPad, different technologies that you can use with the Kindle, and things of that nature as we pass around the wing. If you missed this year's wing conference, you might have wondered what you missed. We had an outstanding PAO team this year that documented hundreds of photos and videos from the weekend. All the information from the conference is being loaded onto a Google site that's dedicated specifically to this year's wing conference. I'd like to point out a couple of key things that you did miss, which were the annual award winners. At this time, I just want to point out, who the annual award winners, and just, say a public congratulations to all of them. First of all, the John Otradovic Lifetime Achievement Award went to Jim Chevalier, a member of Missouri Wing, and has been also a member of Saline County. He's been a member since 1995 and has participated in a lot of different events. So congratulations to Jim. Job well done on the Lifetime Achievement Award for Missouri Wing. He'll go on to represent Missouri at the region level as the Senior Member of the Year. A lot of people don't understand how that process works. We offer 2 awards. One's the Lifetime Achievement Award, and the other one is the Senior Member of the Year Award. However, when it goes on to the next level, the Otradovic Award is passed on, and the reason for that is the next level requires that members be members for a long period of time, and the award for Senior Member of the Year for Civil Air Patrol is actually based on a lifetime of experience within the program. So when you look at the award, we pass on the Otradovic. That doesn't make any of the other awards less significant. So on that, our Senior Member of the Year is Tom Martin, who came out of the Table Rock Composite Squadron. In addition to that, they also brought home some other awards to include the Composite Squadron of the Year. So congratulations to the Table Rock Composite Squadron for their outstanding performance. You know, it's a fairly young squadron, and they are progressing great. This is their second year really as a chartered unit, and they're doing an outstanding job and progressing and getting involved with the mission and getting involved with the community and really spotlighting what Civil Air Patrol is all about. In the wake of Hurricane Sandy, you might be wondering what you can do to help. One of the things that I want to point out that you can do to help is to visit the CAP members website at capmembers.com, and on there you can actually donate to Civil Air Patrol, and it's a program called CAP Cares. Now, CAP Cares was developed after Katrina as an opportunity to provide service or assistance to CAP members. And in this particular case, you know, Sandy is no different than Katrina, and the fact that we have CAP members from those states and region that are hurting, that are have lost some of their possessions, some of them might even lost their home, and CAP Cares is an opportunity to provide that information to them or those funds to them and just to support fellow CAP members. In addition, you can also participate in the American Red Cross. You know, everybody knows that what the American Red Cross is all about, but they provide a lot of resources for the folks that are out there, you know, whether it be food, water, just supplies, setting up shelters and things like that. If you'd like to participate and donate to the American Red Cross, you can visit redcross.org, and all these links will be posted onto the Facebook page here along with this video. So once again, you can donate to the Red Cross at redcross.org. And you might also consider checking with your employer. If you look, especially if you work for a larger company, they might be matching funds. A lot of companies right now are matching dollar for dollar what you donate to various programs that are supporting the relief effort with the Hurricane Sandy. As we move on with the recovery effort for Sandy, it's important to note that CAP is always prepared, and one of the things that we as Missouri Wing are participating in is an exercise this weekend called Vigilant Guard. This exercise basically puts us alongside the Missouri National Guard and other civilian organizations. It's actually hosted by the National Guard. CAP will be providing some service to that mission. To talk more about this particular mission, here is on the phone Lieutenant Colonel Randy Fuller, who's the Director of Emergency Services, and he's going to answer answer a couple questions from me about Vigilant Guard and what we'll be doing to participate.
Missouri Wing will be participating in the Vigilant Guard exercise this weekend. Can you explain the role our members will be playing?
Yeah, our members are going to be exercising the Missouri Civil Air Patrol Earthquake Plan, which calls for us to fly prescripted routes, looking for damage and assessing the accessibility to be able to get relief efforts down into the Boot Heel area, which is the location of the event, being an earthquake in a New Madrid seismic zone. And we'll be reporting that information back to SEMA, State Emergency Management Agency, in conjunction with the Missouri National Guard. And those people will be in Jefferson City. We'll be able to do that because we're going to be flying our airborne repeater and that will allow us to establish voice communications between the Boot Hill area and back to Jefferson City State Emergency Operations Center in anticipation that during an actual mass earthquake, the communication system infrastructure will be totally out. Cell towers will be either down, or the cell phone system will be so jammed that you won't be able to make calls. Don't necessarily have all of the other
participating in the Vigilant Guard exercise this weekend. Can you explain the role our members will be playing?
Yeah, our members are going to be exercising the Missouri Civil Air Patrol Earthquake Plan, which calls for us to fly pre-scripted routes looking for damage and assessing the accessibility to be able to get relief efforts down into the Boot Hill area, which is the location of the event, being an earthquake in a New Madrid seismic zone. And we'll be reporting that information back to SEMA, State Emergency Management Agency, in conjunction with the Missouri National Guard. And those people will be in Jefferson City. We'll be able to do that because we're going to be flying our airborne repeater, and that will allow us to establish voice communications between the Boot Hill area and back to Jefferson City State Emergency Operations Center in anticipation that during an actual mass earthquake, the communication system infrastructure will be totally out. Cell towers will be either down, or the cell phone system will be so jammed that you won't be able to make calls. Don't necessarily have all of the other means of communications, but we're hoping and planning that our VHF communication portable repeater flying it at 10,000 feet will allow us to talk from down the Boot Hill area back to Jefferson City.
All right. Well, Colonel Fuller, what kind of impact do you think this exercise will play with our relationship with the Missouri Wing, or with the state of Missouri?
Well, as it is now, state of Missouri, through their Department of Homeland Security, depends on a VHF trunked radio system, which relies on towers to be able to talk via VHF from anywhere in the state back to Jefferson City. And in the event of the earthquake, it's anticipated that many of the towers will come down with the earthquake, which will disrupt their system. And through the use of our airborne repeater, we'll be able to maintain that communication for them from the Boot Hill area back to the State Emergency Operations Center in Jefferson City. And it's valuable not only for the earthquake, but any other major disaster that may take place, that we could do that for them.
Well, thank you, Colonel Fuller, for your information. We look forward to seeing the results from this exercise. And you everybody have a safe weekend out there.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah, that was Lieutenant Colonel Randy Fuller, from the Director of Emergency Services for Missouri Wing. And once again, Randy, thank you for that information. So as we move forward, before we close out this evening's episode of MOCAP TV, I'd like to throw a couple of opportunities out there for members from the Wing. MOCAP TV is a fairly new show, and we're working on putting together great content for the members of Missouri Wing. This is actually only our second episode. The first one was actually just a test. And as we progress for MOCAP TV, we'd like to ask that you provide input and provide content for more shows. So if you'd like for us to come visit your squadron, or if you yourself are handy with the camera and just would like to present a news story from your squadron, we'd like to welcome that and ask you to join us here on MOCAP TV. In addition to that, we'll also be doing some other phone interviews and live video interviews from around the Wing for members of Civil Air Patrol and members of Missouri Wing. So once again, if you'd like to participate in that, you can send requests or send information or even ask questions to MOCAPTV at mowg.cap.gov, and also that link is available on Facebook and also available on the Missouri Wing website when you click on MOCAP TV. So Once again, if you have a news story that you'd like to present, please send it in. I'm not sure how many people know, but you can actually get your own CAP email address. So for a lot of members, for example, my email address is bsanker@mowingcap.org, and you can get such an email for yourself. Basically, all you need to do is just send an email to IT at, their address for IT department is it@mowg.cap.gov, and you can also go to the IT department site on the Missouri Wing website, and it talks about those email addresses. In addition to that, Missouri Wing uses various applications from around the internet to provide resources to the member. One of those resources is a product called Google Apps, and that's where our email is hosted. Google Apps also allows us to provide websites for the units. So for example, you can have a website for your unit. So it might be something like MO070 at mowgcap.org. These sites are free, and basically we just ask that you maintain them and keep them with good content for Missouri Wing. So once again, if you're interested in either of those email applications or a website for your unit, you can contact the IT department at it@mowg.cap.gov. So we're about ready to wrap up this evening's episode of MOCAP TV. I'd like to thank everybody who has participated in putting this evening show together, and once again invite you, if you have any comments or questions for MOCAP TV or would like to participate in MOCAP TV and provide content, we were definitely willing to take a look at what you got and get you involved. One last plug before we go. If you would like to have a Missouri Wing challenge coin, those challenge coins are going to be seen here on the screen. This challenge coin is available for sale. You can actually find it on the Missouri Wing website. There's a link that says challenge coin, and those coins are available for $6 a piece or 2 for $10, and you can just click on the website and go to that link and basically order the coin. Then we'll get in touch with you and figure out how to get the coin to you either by mail or delivered in person at the next CAP event, maybe like a commander's call or something. So once again, the coins are available for $6 a piece or 2 for $10, and you can just contact myself, Lieutenant Colonel Brad Sanker, or contact the Missouri Wing headquarters, or finally you can order them online at the Wing website. Just click on challenge coin, and we'll be glad to get that information to you. So for MOCAP TV, I want to say thank you for watching this evening, and once again, for everybody that's participating in Vigilant Guard this weekend, be safe and have a great weekend. For MOCAP TV, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Brad Sanker, broadcasting live. Good night.